context of COP17, you heard about COP17. We held the big global summit. This COP is supposed to be the place where international community comes together to work out what it's going to do about the increase in global temperatures. Do you know about climate change? Who doesn't know about climate change? Who doesn't know about climate change? Don't be shy, because I'm going to give you a test now on climate change. So better put up your hands now. Greenhouse gases, what are they? Name a greenhouse gas. No? Carbon is not a gas. Carbon dioxide, thank you. Carbon dioxide. What creates carbon dioxide? Burning fossils. What are fossils? Yeah. Fossil fuel is coal is one, oil is another. Okay? So burning these fuels is the basis of our energy system. In South Africa, 90% of our electricity or more, 90 plus, comes from burning coal. We take coal, we send it to Sasol, and they turn it into petrol. Now, this is creating a massive problem. What is the problem? These gases are going into the atmosphere. They stay in the atmosphere and they create a blanket around the earth, which traps in the heat. So, unfortunately, the sun isn't shining, but yesterday, you remember, it was nice and warm in here because the heat was coming, the light was coming in through the windows. It was trapped in here, it was like a greenhouse. And we were a bit warm, we didn't need heaters. Many of you are not so convinced. But you felt that effect, huh? That's the greenhouse effect. Or if you go in your car, in the sun, it can be a cold day, but if the sun shines, the car traps in the heat coming from the sun. You know that effect? You should say the car in the hot day effect, or the sunny day effect, not the greenhouse. Okay, so the heat is trapped in. Now when the heat is trapped in, the average temperature on the planet increases. They are saying, scientists are saying, that if we keep emitting these gases on the scale that we're currently doing, by the end of the century, the temperature will have increased by 4 degrees Celsius as against the 1990, what it was in 1990. 4-degree increase. Already, we are seeing the impact of climate change. What's the impact of climate change? Massive floods in Pakistan. Massive droughts in the United States. Hurricane Katrina in St. Louis. Devastating fires in Russia that completely destroyed their wheat crops. The result is the price of wheat went up massively. People starved around the world because of that. That's just with an increase of 0.8 degrees. We're not even 1 yet. So do you remember what I said to you about technology? Most of the technology that's developed in the world has happened over the last 50 years. If we had to plot it on a graph, like if this is the beginning of civilization, and over here, yes. What's that man called? humanoids. Huh? And here is 2012. Then technology development went something like then technology development went something like that. That's how the graph looks in terms of technological development. The same thing is what they're saying will happen with temperature and climate change. So our temperatures for the last couple of thousand years have been rather steady, slight increase, and now it's going to go up in the next 60 years. It's going to go up very dramatically. Going to go up very dramatically because of knock-on effects. So the moment we have the ice, Greenland ice plates melting, there's underneath that ice is methane gas. Methane gas will escape, and that will bring a huge amount of extra fossil fuels greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. So can you see a knock-on effect? Okay. Now, so the thing to do is to stop polluting these greenhouse gases. So we've got to stop producing electricity from burning coal. We've got to stop getting our cars moving on burning oil. So what must we do? We've got to put windmills around the coast of the Western Cape, Eastern Cape, and KwaZulu-Natal, where there's a lot of wind, and produce our electricity from wind. We've got this wonderful sun. Even in winter it shines. Look outside. Produce our electricity from solar. Wow. Wow. Here's the luck. More jobs are created in solar and wind energy than is created with burning coal to make electricity. That's a halak, no? That's a big luck for us. If we just got 50% of our electricity needs from renewable energy, we will create 150,000 jobs. Wow. Jump up and down, celebrate. So we know what we must do. We must cut electricity from burning coal, and we must create it from renewable energy. Alright? But we also know that we must get all those polluting cars and trucks off the road and build a public transport system. How did you get here? You got a car, but there is a railway line, right? But it's not efficient. It's difficult for you to get to town to get that railway, that thing that would have brought you to the station over here, where it's very close to. You could have walked from the station, no? But we can't because we have an inefficient public transport system. So we used a car. Not very efficient, but fortunately only a few of us came in our private cars. You came in a Quantum. That's excellent. If we can do most of our things where we're not one person in a car, we will create 400,000 jobs, and we will reduce our emissions of greenhouse gases. So that's what we mean by a climate job. A climate job is a job that reduces our emissions of greenhouse gases. Now have a look at this. If you want to know why we must do that, the carbon intensity of the South African economy. This little puff-and-see economy that I've been slandering for the last 2 days, most carbon intensive in the world. Most carbon intensive in the world. More than China, huge economy, more than the United States, and more than Turkey. So South Africa, with a small economy, is the 12th biggest emitter of greenhouse gases in the world. So we have to do something about it. It's a big issue for us. We must move away from carbon public transport system, and we must do what I said to you earlier, build houses, ecological houses, houses that have energy efficiency, because if we make this, like this is an energy efficient room that we've been in. Have you been very cold in here? Not really, eh? Not really. We haven't had heaters in here. If you had this size room in my offices at AIDC, you would be crouched full around heaters. There's energy efficiency that has gone into this building. So if we retrofitted, it means we go and renew all the buildings and houses to make them energy efficient. We will reduce the demand for electricity, so we won't burn all that greenhouse gases, but we will create more than 450,000 jobs. But you know that Verimark advert? Verimark. And you know this vacuum cleaner? We'll give it to you for 150 Rand and you will get 3 vacuum bags. And what's more, you will get 1 week's supply of popcorn. No. And what's more, not only can we build renewable energy, not only must we build public transport system, not only must we make our housing and buildings energy efficient, all of which create thousands and thousands of jobs, we must move from industrial agriculture, which contributes of all the gases that we put into the atmosphere, 13% is from industrial agriculture. So we must move to small scale organic agriculture where we don't use the fertilizers, the pesticides, etc., because they are all created from carbon. So we must do that. At the same time, we rehabilitate our soils, because South Africa's quality of soils is eroding very dramatically. So our agricultural production is declining. All of this, if we do